you don't have culture, you don't have values, you are lazy.
What you did is wrong. You do that again, you will be promoted to unemployed. Next question. My boss is very inclusive, using everyone's pronouns, understanding everybody's difficulties, and forgive everybody's mistakes. So in the beginning, working under her was great, but there seems to be like a work style and communication issue arising between colleagues. Instead of like calling out, she will use like the nicest word to go and sayang and address these issues. I think her style of babying everyone is why my colleagues and I continue to have all these issues day to day. My boss, red flag or green flag? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes. The dream combi is here. Right now, we have Jeff on red flag, Danny on green flag, I'm on red flag. We are here to tekan the boss. So Jeff, why is it a red flag?
In certain situations, it's best to be direct, not to try to sugarcoat things to minimize the conflict whatsoever. We can arrange a session with both parties. Like for example, me and Ian is having, a conflict. Instead of going to come over Sayang me, say, hey Jeff, no, it's okay lah, don't bother him lah. No, I will only have more bad blood feeling, that, so you try to push it aside. And in the end, it will snowball and more. Then it will not going to resolve the issue, you see. It's like a vicious cycle, Everything's swept under the carpet. So I would rather, my boss to have that kind of approach of tough love. At least you can highlight to me what's the real issue that I'm facing. Is it because I have a communication issue that Ian couldn't understand my way of communicating and in the end we have dispute? Maybe it's just merely due to the misunderstanding. It could be so simple. I did not have a chance to work on myself.
Okay, Danny, time to defend yourself. Green flag. Why is it green flag?
So I think I just believe in the adage of praise in public, criticize in private.
Right.
If you humiliate someone in public, you don't really get mileage unless you want to use that as an example. For the rest, it's like, you know what, you did a mistake, I'm going to use your mistake to show the rest that you shouldn't do this anymore. That's one way to do so, focusing on the problem rather than the person creating the problem. But of course, if the person refuses to listen, she's waiting for tough love. I think you can tough love someone in private first. And of course, you say, can I use what you have done and I bring it out as a case study for the rest of us so that we can all learn and not make the mistakes again. If you just say anything and you don't even deal with the situation, they shouldn't be a leader in the first place because you're here to fix.
Right.
You're here to solve.
Correct. So even if in private, the boss uses like a very inclusive terms, and it almost borders on like skirting around the issue to kind of like hint at the fact that this is the thing you're wrong with.
Okay, last week I just mentioned to somebody I'm actually quite disappointed in what you have done. I'm not disappointed at you. I'm disappointed that things have turned out this way, and I just want to know what went through your mind when you do this.
It still feels very babyish to me, because the kind of tough love that I experience is like, what you did is wrong. You do that again, you are gonna F up again. Then the next time you do that, you will be promoted to unemployed. That is tough love. If I can compare you to what a preschool teacher would tell a kid, that is babying, right? I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking the messenger. I just don't like the message. But bro, if the messenger never sent a message, nobody will hear the message. Right?
Exactly.
It is also very tough to work in a place where it's all tough love. And the older generations feel that babying the 草莓族 feels a little bit too much. Because the generation has changed, we have to adapt accordingly. It's not saying we're babying them, we're just being more inclusive. And we want to make sure that everybody is heard, because people are then more willing to speak up because they know that they're willing to be heard. You as a person with agency choose that this was your best course of action. To prevent the action from happening, I need you to not think that this is the only choice you can make. There are other choices. Then that is basically a person, like you're attacking the person, or you're trying to fix the person. You're not fixing the issue. Being inclusive doesn't really help. It's very detractive, no man.
If you made a mistake, I made a mistake. So you cannot say, oh, it's not a mistake. When you go a bit more personal towards the person's value system, like, oh, you don't have culture, you don't have value system, you are stupid, you are lazy. I mean, whatever reason you give, that would be something which I would say it's not going to work very well in the work environment nowadays, right? If you just baby everything else, two things will happen. One, things don't get done. Two, the leader will be trampled upon. Why you baby the person and you punish me? So there's no equity here. As leaders, we all have our natural temperament. I mean, take away the head of a leader, you are a person with character. But of course, you put on the leader's role, you have to solve issues. When you talk about conflict resolution, if it takes tough love to do it, you do it in spite of how you feel.
So technically speaking, hard right seems to be the better solution. Like, that is your last straw, right? Let's say I want to put out fire. I can pour water, or I can put fire extinguisher, right? So I pour water first. If water doesn't work, fire extinguisher. You never see a situation in which any kind of safety video is like, if you have a fire extinguisher, why don't you just try water first? You always go for the absolute solution.
Go for the queue first.
Shouldn't I just default to tough love then?
Leaders need to be consistent. So if that situation means that you are tough love every day, 24/7, one day you need to be nicer because somebody shares about, I need emotional support to go to a gynae. Then you become very nice nice. And I find that you are just very creepy, though.
When you're talking about the fact that we are doing the soft approach, right, there's so many detriments to it. There might be unfairness within the colleagues. Your boss is easily being stepped over. You lose that power authority. Versus tough love, the only thing is some people just cannot take it.
But human nature focus on the tough part more than love part.
Correct. But you're here to work, ma. Right? You're not here to be in preschool, ma. I've never seen a soft approach person, carrot on a stick, a group across, better than a tough love person. Because at the end of the day, you will wake up from the tough love. After the tough has finished and you get your pay packet and your bonus is bigger than last year, you will understand why your boss is doing this. We need to get everybody across the line, but you are not disciplined enough to run yourself there. All the major positions all have numbered KPIs. Numbered KPIs means that you need to whip a bunch of people into shape and then get them to achieve to the end.
You shouldn't just use that as a default, because at the end of the day, you have to see the situation. It's not the absolute. It's which direction you are coming from. Leaders are not finished products. I think as a leader, you need to first acknowledge that part. That's why I'm willingly saying that I'm a peacemaker. It's hard for me to conflict resolve naturally. You cannot say that I'm who I am, I'm weak, so I'm soft. So too bad. You want it, too bad, you go away. But I think this is me, this is my default, but I'm working towards something. The biggest staff turnover happens after the bonus is given.
Right.
February is
very
good. Yeah, the thing already out, right? Because I don't think the person will want to work so much in January if they want to leave in February.
Year-end bonus is not a guaranteed thing, what? Correct or not? And then, wow, we work until man.